endless night, a one-horse town, another Christmas Eve. With frozen breath he checked his list, then dressed himself to leave. A pair of boots, a bright red suit, an empty gunny sack, a fake white beard to hide his face, the perfect Christmas mask. Beneath the moon on distant tracks, the train rolled into view. A whistle blast announced the time, here comes the 8:02. So gather round the fire again and hear a Christmas tale. The Wild West was wild that night, with Santa Claus in jail. With screeching wheels and puffs of smoke, the train came to a halt. With not a moment left to lose, Santa started his assault. He hopped aboard the nearest car and pasted in his boots. Ho, 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 he hollered out, now give me all your loot. The frightened passengers complied and dropped things in his sack. Gifts and cash, a leather sash, a dime store paperback. So gather round the fire again and hear a Christmas tale. The Wild West was wild that night, with Santa Claus in jail. A granny met him in the aisle, a purse clutched in her hands. He sized her up before he spoke, I'll have that satchel, ma'am. She raised her arms and swung around before he knew what for. It struck him clean upside the head, that satchel full of coal. He woke inside a tiny cell as pain seared through his jaw. Through iron bars he watched the train and thought about his flaw. So gather round the fire again and hear a Christmas tale. The Wild West was wild that night, with Santa Claus in jail. The passengers retrieved their things, confused and wide awake. But no one noticed Santa's elves preparing his escape. They worked their magic 'neath the stars, hauling heavy chains, then wrapped them round the window bars and hooked them to the train. Belongings sorted out at last, the train was homeward bound. The chains pulled tight against the wall and ripped it to the ground. The bandit Santa sprung to life with freedom in his grasp. He dashed into the cold night air, but fell into a trap. Granny swung her purse again, and bandit Santa dropped. She sized him up and then announced, turns out this was my stop. So gather round the fire again and hear a Christmas tale. The Wild West was wild that night, with Santa Claus in jail. So gather round the fire again and hear a Christmas tale. The Wild West was wild that night, with Santa Claus in jail.